Hello. I wanted to make a video for you parents who might have some questions about how another parent, because I'm a teacher but I'm also a parent. This is my daughter Angie who's helping me. She was so gracious and to help me, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what conscious discipline means to me. And since I was actually her Head Start teacher, I've been teaching since 1997 in the Head Start program mostly, primarily in that. And I was hooked on Love and Logic, which it's a great program. It teaches using empathy, not threatening, and warning your children, and putting the consequences of their actions back on them when they did something, so that they could learn things when they were young and not carry it over to later on when the price to pay is a lot higher. They could learn to take care of what their mistakes, and learn so that they didn't go out and wreck their car when they were older. They could learn to take care of their things. And it's supposed to be always done in a loving fashion. The responses in Love and Logic, some of them I took a few notes to remind myself, were things like delivered in a loving way. A child comes and they've done something, they have a problem, they've broken something, putting it back on them, saying, "This is so sad, bummer, this must be hard to feel that way." And it's often after they're kind of pushing buttons and picking maybe at you, like nagging for something 20 times, that kind of thing. And so some of the statements that I used from Love and Logic, they did stop the arguments, but were not received very well. Angie, do you want to share the 3 that you had shared with me that you just really don't care for? What was the one? I know.
The one where you went, I know.
Yeah, you're just agreeing.
It's just because I don't like it when people feel sorry for me in a faking kind of way. It felt like it was like feeling sorry for me, but faking it, faking.
That's interesting.
And I really didn't like that. But the "I love you too much to argue with you" one just made me mad because you didn't want to argue.
Yeah,
and I liked fighting. I liked fighting back then.
Yes. So the Love and Logic responses.
And now we pretty much
No, we pretty much what?
Just doing it in a joking way now.
Yes, I love you too much to argue with you, and I really did love her too much to spend life arguing. Life's too short to spend your time arguing with people.
I liked to argue back then, so it was annoying.
You did. What about when I said, "Bummer"?
I didn't care when you said bummer.
You didn't care when I said bummer? So it was, I know.
Oh yeah, bummer was just like, I know.
Yeah, I love you too much to argue with you. Wasn't there one more?
But the worst, there was bummer, I love you too much to argue with you, and I know.
Right.
Did you read those from some kind of book or something?
Well, I took a training and it did stop the arguing, but you didn't care for it.
I didn't like it. Then you kept saying it, and it got more and more annoying. But then it got less and less annoying, and then you just stopped saying it because I stopped arguing because I knew you were going to say that.
So ultimately it did work. But
yeah.
Here's the deal with conscious discipline. It ups the whole idea of the not arguing and the whole Love and Logic, empathy delivered with love. But the stress for me that is on conscious discipline is the fact that it's not words. I was using the words, but I wasn't always feeling it in here. I was feeling still quite irritated when I said, "I love you too much to argue." And we're always putting off things. We're radiating out, not to sound odd, but we're radiating out that energy, that negativity if we're feeling it. And I was saying, Angie, I'm not trying to freak you out, but people can feel.
Is it one of those mind reading things?
It's more like, when someone's being negative, you can feel it. And I was still feeling it inside. I'm irritated, and I'm saying, "I love you too much to argue," but words are just, you have to actually be in a position where you're going to be able to deliver that in a positive, loving way. And so what conscious discipline really does is you're delivering it, as Love and Logic says, with empathy, but it shows you how to get to that point where all I want is the best for you at that moment, because I'm dealing with what's in here. Whatever's happened to me that's put me on edge. I could say, or even thinking, "I love you too much to argue," and put my hand on her, and she would feel that more than any words because of what I was
Just because you
conveying.
put your hand on me.
Just because I did that, and I was like, you knew then that would be okay because everything's good between us, right?
Because
Kids
you
can
put your
tell.
hand on me.
Well, it was
I could
because
like
we're
tell,
huggy.
oh, you love me. Because you put your hand on my shoulder.
Well, yeah, I went out of my way, and in
To
a
put-
playful way, or I might go like this. We talked about that in our conscious discipline classes about being playful, and yes, you're 10, but you still like to play and joke around, don't you? Yes, like making silly faces at each other like now. So, anyway, I'll end this so it isn't too long, but kid's point of view, having grown up with a mom teaching Head Start, and we're all learning all the time, and just that it has to come from your heart, and you have to stop and smile, take a deep breath. She doesn't care for that either, but she's 10. And relax. Find ways to relax and be the person that you want to be inside, and then you can be who other people need to be. I wish you all well. I really do wish you all well.